Good morning. Is it good morning? Yes, it's morning in Arizona. Good afternoon in Florida. Good late afternoon wherever else you are. And if you're from somewhere else outside of there, good day and what have you. Let me move my camera up here so I'm not chopped off. And again, thank you for joining us. And I'm going to be filling in for Joni today, doing this wonderful show. I hope it's going to be a wonderful show. I think I like sometimes it really is a good test to us musicians because we have to do stuff on the spot. And that's okay. But next week, we plan on redoing this event, so I'll send you an email notices on that, and that's great. So you'll get a great show this week, and then you'll get one next week. But I'm going to open up. I'm going to be playing on one of my favorite virtual orchestras. Sometimes I have to pet it like my loved animals that I have. You know, you got to take care of these guys. So anyway, the Lowry Symphony here. I know some of you have the instrument. And I might use some music from time to time. And so I've got that. I've got my cheat sheet behind me, so I got to squint every now and then. But I'm going to open up with a style here that was originally introduced on the Lowry Marquis and then subsequently placed on, obviously, the aria and on the symphony here. And this style is typically used for like big Broadway numbers, cabaret, but I'm going to use it a little bit differently. Instead of playing the song Cabaret, I thought I'd open up with a totally different fun number here for you. So here we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, kind of hanging, but
Yes, big round of applause. Yes, yes, give it up. Yay! You have to get it as big as mine, folks.
and
Oh, I
so,
love this
all
Lowry
right,
Symphony. I
this
love it
one,
so much.
so
Well, thank you so much. And moving on, we're
this
going to
will
have some
start.
fun here. And aren't you glad, Sean, I know how to use the mute all button?
I am so glad about that.
So you won't hear say, Robert, mute
I don't have
all,
to do
mute
it, yeah.
all, mute all. Oh, we're recording now. Well, I'm going to continue on with some really great music. One of my favorites, another one of my favorite styles was introduced on this. And it's really a number that many people love. And some of you some of you may know, uh, if you remember person by the name of Ray Charles. Do you remember that guy, Ray Charles? And Ray Charles, obviously, the list is a mile long when it comes to hits. But one of my favorite songs of Ray Charles, well, we'd be here a while if I actually gave you my list of my favorite Ray Charles numbers. So I'll have to give you one of them. Was a song called You Don't Know Me. Now, what's interesting about this style is, as you know, a lot of the Lowry instruments have these styles on them that, for example, one of them says swing train. So a lot of people know I might be able to play Chattanooga Choo Choo with that. Or there's a style called Serenade. Oh, Moonlight Serenade is good for that. Autumn Keys, perfect for autumn leaves. Well, on the Lowry aria, when it was introduced, what they did is they, for the first time in the Grand Marquis, they named the styles the exact same name of the song, so there was no guessing involved. And from what I understand, the music is as close as it can be. And I think they even paid a little royalties to do this. So that way they got it as real. And I guess for the kind of money they were asking for the aria, they probably should have done that, right? But on the Lowry Symphony, we have a handful of Lowry aria styles. And you heard one of them, that was Cabaret. And this one is You Don't Know Me. I'm going to use some simple, easy play music. See that? Nice and simple and easy. And I'm just going to put it up there, and I'll just kind of play it note for note. I'll play some songs all the way through. I'll play some songettes because I want to play as many songs as I can in the time we have today. And then I'm going to simply just, I have this style, all the new styles programmed in my presets here. So I'm just going to simply go to, whoops, I think Jerome was messing with the screen here. So I'm going to put on my preset info here. And I'm going to, give me a second, I'm going to put this back to, I had a student come in yesterday and he asked me, how do you guys do it to where you don't, when Jerome goes on and you go on, you don't mess with each other's settings? I said, we mess with each other's settings all the time. It's just we don't always say it. But now we're recording this, and this is going on YouTube, Jerome. I noticed that you changed one of the settings here. So I'm going to put it back. And so that way I could always see, because I like custom 4, the custom 4 setting, where it says preset information. So I like that feature there. And so anyway, I'm going to come up to this new style called You Don't Know Me. And the song is called You Don't Know Me. And listen to this, just a gorgeous style altogether. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, yes. Give me some real applause. Give me
Good
some real
job, good
love.
job.
Real love.
I haven't heard that in years.
Oh, yes.
Years.
You see, now when I play here, you
No,
don't
it's
get to
much
see
bigger
the
than mine.
expression on my face, but you know, when I turn the camera away, this is actually what I'm doing. Oh, please, Mike, get to the song. You really get the song, but you don't see that when I'm playing. See, and then I'm talking like I'm confident, and I'm going, gosh, this spurt of the moment stuff. I don't know if I could pull this off, but when I'm talking on the screen here like this, and then I turn it away, I'm going, oh, please, 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 please. That's why I turn my microphone off too. No, I'm just kidding. We're having a good time today. Hope you're enjoying the music. I'm going to play one of Sean's favorite styles.
Ooh.
I heard him do this last week, and it's interesting because all these styles are great that we play, but if you ever pay very close attention to some of our staff members, you can always tell when something just lights them up a little bit more. Sometimes it's just a little glow on their face, what have you. And quite frankly, this is one of my favorite styles too. This was originally introduced on the marquee, and I love, like many of us, love the big band songs, the sound of the big band. And, you know, back in the days, there was the swing band, and then the swing train came out, and that was great. And then the Vegas big band came out, and that was awesome. But when the marquee came out and they introduced some new big band styles, it was like, oh, I'm glad they put a new one on. But this was really clever because this catered to those who love the old big band standards. And then some of the new people, I want to say new people, some of the younger generation, the generation of today, it's interesting because they're being re-educated of some of these new styles, and sometimes they think it's actually new and it's actually classics. So the song I'm thinking of is I've Got the World on a String. Now, a lot of people associate that with a lot of crooners. I've heard Dean Martin to Frank Sinatra. And then today, Michael Bublé has a great arrangement of it. But I'll tell you what's very clever about Michael Bublé's arrangement. He does not lose the quality of the feel of the song the way it was. So it's new in the fashion that it's it's a cover of the song in his fashion with his great, obviously he's a wonderful crooner. But he still has that old-fashioned flavor of the big band sound, but it sounds new. And I think that's why this particular style won so many hearts. And so I'm going to use my music, just a simple, easy play. I think I have the right book here. I hope it's in the key of C or F. Please, please, please. This is where I'm praying, folks. Uh-oh, I'm recording this. So you're catching me praying on camera here. Oh, whew, it's in the key of F. Thank goodness. Believe it or not, folks, a fact, I don't read standard notation. I read easy play music, and everything I learn in the key of C or F, and then occasionally G. And then what I do is I play it repetitiously as I taught in the class, and I memorize the song. If you were to put this song here in front of me in standard notation, I wouldn't be able to do it. So in case you're wondering, there's a little something about myself. 20 some odd years, 26, 27 years of doing this, and I still use easy play music. So just remember, you never have to get any more advanced than what you're already using, all right? Well, here's a number, and it's I've Got the World on a String. And what's really clever about this number is they use Michael Bublé's arrangement in this in mind. So when you hear the beginning of this, next time you get a chance, go to the YouTube channel or a YouTube and look up Michael Bublé, I've Got the World on a String. And one of his recordings they'll showcase in the beginning of the song, they'll say, hey, Michael, come out, let's swing or let's play or something like that. When Bill Curry recorded this style on the marquee and now on the Symphony, what he did was he put the voices in the instrument to emulate that. So I'll try to lip sync to that in the beginning in the introduction. So here we go, my easy play music, and here we go. Forgot to play the song. I was busy trying to lip sync. Here we go. gonna,
Good.
and
Nice
folks,
job.
thank you.
Good job. Good job.
Oh, whew, the pressure's on.
Yes.
Maybe if I can create that Philadelphia accent, I can fool some of you in thinking I'm Joni. No, that won't work. All right. Now, by the way, folks, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I'm going to look on the screen here and see some of your faces. Just a nod, yes or no. Do you ever find yourself, I don't know if this happens to you, ever find yourself when you're playing music, maybe sometimes you glance down at your hand or look, you ever find yourself going, oh, crap, where am I? You ever do that? No, nobody? I got a bunch of yeses. I thought none of you did that. All your teachers said, my students, none of them have to do that. Were you getting kind of lost on the music? Well, that happened twice today. First in the introduction, because I forgot where I was. And then in the middle of the song, I went, where was I? Where was I? And you notice what I did is I stopped the song and I made it seem like that's what I wanted to do. And then I played the first few notes and then started the chord again. So yes, I'm going to let you in on my secret. I did that on purpose because I actually lost my place, but not on purpose. Anyway, you know, a lot of times when we play these instruments, every now and then I'll have someone say, can you play something without all of the stuff? I hear it many different ways, without all the gadgets or all that background going on, or just plain without just a simple sound. And the answer is yes. As you all know, these instruments have many capabilities. Now, I'm just showing off some of the new styles here that I love to play, and there's more to come. But what I'm going to do is turn off this instrument, and if there's anybody out there that has a Liberty, pay very close attention, because this is a category. There's actually new categories in this instrument they pulled from the Marquis and the Liberty alike. And this is a new category preset here that Bill Curry did when he was very clever, because he could only put so much on the instrument, and he had to choose the best of the best. And he picked a category here, a couple categories, and one of them is simply labeled love songs. And this is pretty clever because it showcases some of those prettiest sounds. And what I'm going to do is just turn off all of the hoopla, and I'm going to play it manually. And I'm just going to look on the screen here, and I'm going to push whatever one my heart desires. So I'm using the preset info just like you would. I'm going to start off actually, because I'm going to record this and post it at some point, and I'm going to dedicate this group of sounds, the first one especially, to Joni, since she's not able to make it today. And I say that because over the years, as you know, Joni has worked as a touring artist and has rapped for Lowry and so forth. And all of the A-series models throughout the years, she really knows the product very, very well. And anytime I saw any of the artists, especially Joni, if you don't know Joni, I know many of you know of her, and none of you know her closely. But one of the things about Joni is when she plays or she teaches or something, like many of our staff members, she likes to be very well prepared. So it broke her heart that she couldn't do this today, because she was very prepared for a great show. But what I love about that is I always take notes. This is how I learn stuff. This is how I learn to come up with ideas. And I remember a show way back in her Lowry days. She presented these group of presets and the sound, and she mentioned these new vocal sounds. A lot of the instruments have these great sounds, but not like this. So I'll start off with this first one here. It's called Love Vocals, and it features some of these new stage choirs and these new harmonies combined together. That is just absolutely gorgeous. And then I'll play some of the other sounds. You're going to hear a little bit of Kenny G. I've never really been a Kenny G fan, but I love the sound. And so they have his saxophone here. They have this ballad flute. When you hear it, you'll actually, I don't know if I can do it over the internet here, but up close, when I'm playing this, I actually feel you can actually hear the breath sometimes. It's so lifelike that sometimes you got to be careful. It's so lifelike that actually the spit comes flying off the flute sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. And there's just 101 strings I see on here, and whatever else comes to mind, I'll say it as I press it. So sit back and enjoy these. And I'll play a little medley of a couple different type of styles of songs that work great with us. My first one I love to do is Can't Help Falling in Love with love vocals. And then I've got a couple other ballads that work nicely with this. Thank you. Well, I hope you
Wow.
enjoyed that. Wasn't that nice? Ooh, so pretty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's so many nice people in that instrument, too. The symphony has a lot of nice people in it. All right, so I have a little special treat for you. I thought I'll kind of switch it up a little bit and play some numbers for you on play something totally different. Let me see if I can switch my camera here. And I figured while I had one, I might as well have some fun on this little guy. Now, let me see if I can switch my computer around, wheel my card around, bump over a few wires here, a few other little things in the process. Hope I don't disconnect my internet.
It has happened before. Yeah.
It's happened many times, me wheeling things around and unplugging and then me saying a bunch of bad words behind the scenes here. No, I don't do that. That's not me. By the way, side fact here while I'm getting set up here is when I was growing up, my first name is Ralph Robert Roman. So some of you see me on my Facebook page. My first name is actually Ralph, and I go by Robert. And I keep it all both ways because many people on Facebook, depending on when I knew them, call me Ralph. Some call me Rob. Some call me Robert. But when I was growing up, I was, because of my age probably, and actually some of my family still call me this. My aunt still calls me Ralphie. And I had a nickname as Little Bad Ralphie. And I can't figure that out. And I keep asking them, why did you call me Little Bad Ralphie? And they look at me funny and they go, do we really have to explain all of the reasons why you're Little Bad Ralphie? I said, come on, I must have been a good kid, right? What did you think I was? You guys aren't nodding yes or no. Okay. Anyway, on to some great music. So I'm going to play a couple numbers on this wonderful instrument. Why? Because I'm going to have it for a little bit of time. I might as well. And this is actually the EZp7. They call it the EZp7 Easy Piano. But you know what's cool about this is a lot of people ask me, do you play piano? And I say no. So how do I demonstrate a piano? Well, I've learned to play 2 or 3 things on the piano over the years, and that's all I can do. That's all I need to do to be able to show off a piano. And I'll play a little piano piece for you. But we have a lot of people that we meet over the years that say, I always wish I could play the piano. And then we ask, do you play the piano or keyboard? And they're starting from scratch. But they love the style of a piano, the idea of a 88 note, instrument. But if any of you are any piano players out there, show of hands, or used to be, let me just see the videos there. I see a hand up there. Jerry, Winnie. Okay, so you know that you either play, and I think, who else plays? I think it's Ron, aren't you a piano player? Brewster? Yeah. So one thing about the piano, as you know, is you either play the piano or you don't. There's kind of like no in-betweens. There is, but it's not. It's almost like, if you make a mistake, it's kind of obvious. That's why when I play a piano, I only play it in the style of the 1 or 2 songs. But let me switch camera views so you're not going to see my face. You'll see the instrument here. But the first thing I'm going to do is a lot of times what I'll do is when we meet that person, I wish I could play the piano, but I can't. Believe it or not, being able to play an instrument at all is the first step in learning to play any instrument. And that's why we feel the Easy Play system is the best. So, for example, if I want to play some country music on here, and this is really clever because this instrument actually has a lot of the styles that you would find on an EZ10 or EZ4. And some of my favorite styles on those instruments are right here. And this is a fun one here. This is actually a style taken off a rate of the large models. It's called Rinky Tink. And it's a really nice, fun, upbeat country number. It's in our pianist category here. And here we go. And it starts off with just a piano. Now what I did is I turned on my drum volume, so I'm going to turn on my drums, bring in the drummer, bring in the band. And of course, if you want to have, yes, thank you, all the applause. Woo! Don't hold the applause. Applause is food for a performer, everyone. And of course, as you know, a lot of the virtual orchestras, the concept of having all of these wonderful sounds and styles is not just having some great piano backgrounds, but my first instrument that I learned to play truly was the guitar. Well, technically, I started on the piano at the age of 15, and then when I was 15, I stopped playing the piano. Yes, give that some thought. That kind of goes along with what I was saying a little earlier. And then I took up the guitar, and it was great because if you played the guitar loud back in the late 80s, if you were really loud, it didn't matter how well you played it, you were considered good. And guess what? I was great. I knew how to turn up the guitar. And then I actually learned how to play a few notes on it. But one of the things I really loved about the virtual orchestras when they introduced these is that they came up with these new beautiful guitar backgrounds. And on the EZp7, they gave us some of the best guitar styles that you would find on some of the top-of-the-line models. This one here is simply called Latin guitar. Some of you are familiar with it, but I just love this style. Listen. Now let's bring in our drummer. Let's bring in the whole band. We got some great woodwind sounds in here. I love the sound of this breathy tenor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A big round of applause for our EZp7. Ooh, it's so much fun. Now, by the way, you can't tell it from over there, but I was just curious because if you notice from where you could see it, there's actually right here where the sound, because this is actually very open. You know, it's really nice and compact to a sense. And you know, when I heard this, I was like, where is that sound coming out of it? Because you could really hear it. They had another one called the EZp8, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, the speakers were below, so it kind of muddled the sound a little bit. But on the top here are the speakers, and all across, there's one here. I see a couple of little ones in there right over here. But I was just curious because I'm all about sound. And one of the things I love about playing these instruments, loud or soft, I'm all about sound. And I thought, I just wonder what would happen. And I actually took a plug from the EZp7 and I plugged it in to my Symphony over here. And so what I'm hearing right now is the sound coming out of here and the sound coming out of here. So I've got this big sound system of the Symphony using my EZp7. But you can't tell because you're over there. But I just, for whatever it's worth, it's kind of fun. The other thing is, some people are asking, I know, what if I want to just play it as a piano? You know, because I'm a piano player. You know what's really clever about this? The one thing a lot of students don't want to do is have to push a lot of buttons to get to a setting. I love using the styles. But earlier I was like, how do I get it back to the piano? And then someone said, oh, just push the button that just says piano only. Oh, that's easy. So right here there's a button. Right now there's a rhythm on. Okay, there's something going on there. If I want it just in piano mode, rather than turning it off and turning it on, just hit piano only, and it automatically goes to this beautiful piano. Listen, I'll play the one of 3 piano songs that I can play. Ooh, that was just like a oh my goodness. I'm having a lot of fun. I don't know about you. But, and one more style I'm going to play for you here. And of course, I played a piano style. I played a guitar style. I played it just in piano mode. And I thought I'd show off just the nice, good full band mode in here. And of course, this is a classic style that's on most of our models here. And it's called the Frank and the Count. Here we go. Oh, this is cool. It has a transpose too? Oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Big round of applause for our Lowry EZp7, EZp7. And I hope you're enjoying the music today. Try to give you a little, yes, thank you. I got a couple more songs left to be over here. Oh, I'm having fun. You know, this kind of puts me on the spot, but I tell you what, I have a lot of fun doing it because then it forces me to learn some new stuff and new goodies. But I have to play a number for you. We are in the month of October, and believe it or not, we are, oh, let me switch my camera here. We are in the month of October. We're almost 2 months away from Christmas, folks.
Wow.
Can you believe it? And with all the doom and gloom you hear on the news all the time, Drew and I agreed that we need to start doing some Christmas stuff early. That's why we started teaching some Christmas songs. There's just something warm and fuzzy about Christmas music, right? And plus, it's a good time to start learning some of those songs. So that way, when it's time and you want to just, whether it's a virtual get together with somebody or what have you, you're prepared. But one of my all-time favorites, my all-time favorite Christmas songs. Oh gosh, that could be a mile long too. But it's one of many people's favorites is the Christmas song. Now, if you think of the song, the Christmas song, it's just a great song altogether. Fortunately for me, I don't know about you, I've heard many versions of this done by some of the greatest artists over the years, both past and present and in between. And fortunately, I've not heard a bad version of this song. I don't want to. I hope I don't accidentally hear one that someone decides to get too creative and they make it bad, and I just don't need that in my head. But I can tell you that I have one that's one of my favorite versions, and that's Nat King Cole's version. And if you ever heard Nat King Cole do it with his orchestra, so it's no wonder that they, when they introduced this on the aria, they put a style on the aria, very cleverly titled, so it would be a little easy to find. And the style is called the Christmas song. Well, that kind of makes it easy, doesn't it? And song, Christmas song, and this arrangement happens to be Nat King Cole's arrangement with his orchestra. So in the beginning, when you hear this, listen for the what I call the swooning strings. They go, I don't want to try to imitate it. It might sound funny, but it goes, and it swooms up. And at the very end of the song, just like the song, the Christmas song, at the very end, he does, the guitar player plays a little bit of that Jingle Bell melody. Listen for it closely. This is just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I got to do that again. I just love that introduction.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That's great.
Gorgeous, such a gorgeous
Good
style.
job.
You know what's great about that, and what's great about that style is that if you're
No, this is good.
if you are if you know when we're not playing Christmas songs, if you want to use that style, it's a great style to use for Left My Heart in San Francisco, Moonglow, and listen. Or you could do Moon. I mean, it's a style that's so diverse. Now, I had a little fun playing with this. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Liberty. You might have heard me say throughout the show. I mentioned a few things that the Lowry Liberty has, and it's just a stunning instrument. And it's very similar to that of what you're hearing today. The main difference is in some of the cosmetics. On the top, they have I don't have one to show here, but if you ever see one, look it up. There's a picture of it, and they have these lids that open up, so the virtual speakers also go up there. But there's some styles on there that are absolutely just really a lot of fun, especially if you like music of the big band era, what have you. As you know, I kind of a big fan of that. But I'll play a couple styles here that I really love that were introduced on the Lowry Liberty. And one of them is called Beyond the Sea. Now, I don't know if you can guess what song I'm going to play. The style is called Beyond the Sea. The name of the song is called, any guesses? Give me some help here, folks.
Beyond the Sea.
Oh, thank you so much. Whew. I thought I was going to be sitting here for a while. All right. So this style, and I'm going to use, let me just see. Oh, thank goodness. It's in the key of F. Whew. Thank goodness for easy play music, right? All right. Here we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, some really cool styles on here, I tell you. And of course, I was looking on the screen and I thought, wait a second, that's another one of my favorites. That's another one of my favorites. I just don't have all the time in the world to play all my favorites. So I'll just play a couple more of my favorites. So this next style here, this is great. And again, these are a lot of the styles that you're hearing from all the flagship models. What's great about the Symphonies, anyone has, has a Symphony, I hope you're taking notes here. I know Inez, you better be taking some notes because Joe Fontesha said he's going to quiz you on this next week. And if you get the answers wrong, he's going to make you stop playing for one day. You're grounded. Ooh, that's serious business there. But, you know, a lot of the styles that you would normally hear on the Liberties, the Marquis, and what have you. But one of my favorite, I keep saying that, but this is just it's a slow number here. And the song that I've played in concert is a song called, I won't play the whole song because I have a whole full arrangement for it. I'm just going to play a piece of the song. But the song is called Somewhere Out There. And it's a real beautiful ballad. And when the Liberty was introduced, this style was introduced. And I was so happy about this because I played the song. It's one of my favorite ballads to play. And for the first time, I actually had a style that catered to that song. I'm only going to play a part of the song so you could hear it. But the style is called Pop Out There. And because it was taken off of the Liberty and it had to be retitled in a way that worked. But when you hear the introduction of this, the introduction in itself speaks because it's like having this full symphony orchestra playing for you, and it's got the arrangement just like it was in the movie. And you hear the flutes, the orchestra strings, you name it. Just absolutely amazing. So just listen to the introduction. I'll play some of the presets. And then here we go. Just using rhythm preset. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo. I love this song. I love that song. I love that number. I love that organ. I love it. Oh, this is so much fun. Well, I actually got my last number. I'm gonna really try to. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but we'll see what happens. Because I was thinking I want to play that song and I want to play that song. I said, well, maybe I'll use that new style. and play both of those songs and see what happens. I hope it works because one is a style of music. I think it was from the 60s, and then another is a Latin style. So I'm gonna see if I can make the two work together. And this is called experimenting on the fly here. So if it doesn't work, I guess I can always edit it out. I probably won't though, because this is the way it is. But before I do, first of all, did you enjoy your time? Did you have fun today? Was okay. I'm again, Joni. Her heart goes out to all of everyone. She feels very bad about not being able to do it today, but she wants to do a top-notch show for you. So we'll reschedule that. So you'll get this show, and then next week sometime, we'll have her come back and do her show. So I think it works out just as well. The other thing I want to tell you is, as always, I always like to give a little shout-out commercial, if it's okay. Is it okay? Joe, go like that. Winnie, Jerry, they said if you said yes, everybody would agree. Okay, Mary, Joanne is nodding her head and going like this. No, I'm just kidding. But I do want to tell you about something really cool I thought of. And believe it or not, this is a fact. I thought of this idea on the way in, and I called John and I said, I'm going to tell everybody anyway. And the phone got quiet. Yeah, it was like this, dead silent. And anyway, long story short, I know many of you have the Symphony already. That's okay. You can always get another one if you'd like. Inez, is always good to have one for your left hand and one for your right hand, you know. I know a student in out of state, he actually has 4 organs in one room. And one breaks, he's got another one that was a backup. But I'm going to offer you three options that I'm just going to pay very close attention to this, and we'll end up with some great number here for you, a great couple songs. First of all, I have been playing obviously the Lowry Symphony. Now, I have to tell you, the Lowry Symphony is as limited as they become. There's one in Arizona, and there's one in Florida. And what we don't like to do is sell the only ones we have. So what we've been offering for a very limited time is anyone who has a Sterling or Patriot, through a very detailed process, and I'm going to oversimplify it, but basically, in short, we're able to take your instrument, bring it in, we need it for about a week, we give you a loaner organ in the meantime, and through a very lengthy process, we convert your instrument to the Symphony. So that's option one. Option two is, some people have heard of the Lowry Liberty and think that the Lowry Liberty might be an option. Now, I don't have a Liberty here, but if you notice today, there's a lot of features and sounds that I showcase that are on the Lowry Liberty. If there's an interest in the Liberty, I have to tell you, act fast, because there is only 2 Liberties available. Coincidentally, one in oak and one in cherry. And so if you have a color preference, act fast, because there's one of each available. Nowadays, our top-of-the-line models are far and few between, and they're kind of a golden nugget for us when we can get one. Option 3 is, now I notice, I don't know if you know this, but believe it or not, the reason why I had this instrument brought into our stores, we have a couple of them, but we have a way to access a small quantity, should I say, because I don't know the exact number. I think it's less than 10 or something like that. But believe it or not, over the years, I have heard so many students get involved with us in the hobby of music making that had a piano background and just got hooked on the way we're doing things, and that's fine. But they still have, it's still a love of piano. In my house, for example, I have multiple instruments. One of them happens to be a digital piano. I have 2 SD organs in my house, by the way, and some few guitars and a few keyboards. I mean, to me, there is no limit to how many music instruments I can have, unless I just absolutely can't fit it. But what I've discovered with this instrument is, this is a clever instrument because it plays as a piano. It could be played as a easy play instrument like all of our other models. We've even found some members have have ordered some of these as a gift. They have a loved one that's learning piano or a grandchild or something like that. And this is pretty cool because they can learn piano and they can still also play Easy Play. To me, I learned to do what I do via Easy Play. The other cool thing I noticed is I did this on a whim today, but I hooked it up to the instrument I'm playing, and I'm able to interact these two instruments. So if I want to play the EZp7 piano through my sound system, it works very nicely with that. So it's an instrument that some people actually purchase as a separate instrument, and they put in their home and so forth. And quite frankly, it not only does good for you, but it supports Fletcher Music Centers in our effort to continue our club activities and everything we do. But here's the last thing I want to say. If for any reason we have someone, let's say you have a Sterling or something like that, and you're thinking, boy, I'd love to have a Liberty or a Symphony. Today and tomorrow, I'm going to authorize. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get a lot of phone calls from my staff members after I say this, because I have not told them anything. The only person I told I was going to do this with is John Riley. Anyone who decides to upgrade their instrument, in other words, if they decide to buy a Liberty or a Symphony or the one marquee that we have available in stock, in that purchase, I'm going to include a package where I'm going to include that EZp7 at no extra charge.
Ooh.
So let that sink in. If you have a Sterling, you're saying, boy, I'd love to have that Symphony, and I'd like to take them up in the offer. Not only am I going to do that, but I'm going to also throw in an EZp7 at no extra charge. So it could be great for you or a loved one. Or maybe I want the Liberty. Or maybe I want it for myself. It's okay to be a little selfish. You guys are at home a lot, and there's nothing wrong with having a little extra music. So I'm going to do some really special things today and tomorrow. Now, here's the thing. Before the staff calls you, they're going to call me because they're going to go, what? How do we do that? Well, I just told you all. It's all being recorded. And I have a special price package that's going to be, if you purchase a Symphony or Liberty or the one marquee we have available, the EZp7, I'm going to do this on 3, though. I did tell John I would promise not to do all 10 of them. The first 3 that we do that with will get an EZp7 at no charge. So you could have that for yourself or a loved one or however you like to figure it out. All right? So with that said, I'm going to finish up a little fun number here. And I told you this was going to be a little trick because I'm going to use a style. And I've done this style as a closing number before. But I just don't know if it's going to work for the other song because I had an idea for this. The style is called Mr. A-Go-Go. So a lot of people know that style of music, a go-go. You know, they think of who was that? Nancy Sinatra, was it? These boots are made for walking. My daughter just loves that song. And every time we get to the part where we say these boots are going to walk all over you, she goes like this and she gets right in my face. These boots are going to walk all over you. And I'm like, well, like I did something wrong. Anyway. Oh, that's not it. That's Born Free. That's another great one. Born Free. Here we go. These boots are made for a... There we go. Oh, thank goodness. It's in the key of C. All right. So these boots are made for one, but I'm going to try doing a Latin number with it because I heard this style once and I thought that's actually kind of a little bit of a Latin beat in there. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll see what happens. I'll do a little kind of both ways. All right, here we go. Yeah, all right. to do the same style. I'm going to hit a different chord and let's see what happens. Whew, that took a lot of breath there. Give me a second to catch my breath here. Thank you. The Lowry Symphony, everybody. Also showing off the Lowry Liberty within the Symphony, everybody. And let's give a big round of applause to our EZp7, everybody. And let's give a big round of applause to Back to Me, I guess, everybody. Thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed today's show. Remember what I said, because it's true. I mean it. I've got it on, I was going to say tape, but on video.
Laserdisc.
What's that? Laserdisc.
I just said Laserdisc, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, thank you so much for attending today. Keeps playing music. Stay safe, and talk to you real soon. Mwah.
That was nice. Very